What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be providing the latest Chicago Bulls news and updates around Zach LaVine, as well as the Chicago Bulls playing overseas in a regular season game. Two videos in one day, ladies and gentlemen, but when news does occur, it's very important to provide that news, whether it be massive or whether it be not so relevant to the Chicago Bulls at this point in time. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Zach LaVine, the likelihood of us keeping Zach LaVine. I will ask that almost every time I talk about Zach LaVine. I'm getting relatively tired about talking about Zach LaVine, but when news does occur, you got to bring the news. And also the Chicago Bulls playing overseas for a regular season game, which is what we will be starting with, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I want to talk about is the Chicago Bulls playing a regular season game over in Paris. We'll be versing the Detroit Pistons. It'll be taking place in January, I believe, 19th, 2023. At the end of the day, it's not the biggest of biggest games, I guess, right now. Maybe Detroit will be very good next year. Who really knows? The NBA, relatively unpredictable. But looking at the two teams now, it looks like this is not going to be the massive, greatest game that I guess Paris will ever see. But if you're from Paris and you're a Bulls fan, you're a Detroit Pistons fan, congratulations on this news. A big event for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope it's going to be a great game over in Paris. And hopefully those fans will be just as entertained as the ones in the United States. Unfortunately, I'm not from Paris either. Very unfortunate. One day they might have to make their way to Australia. I'd very much love that. And obviously it gives me a chance to go watch the Chicago Bulls. But all in all, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not going to complain that they're going to go play in Paris. I guess many of you guys that are season ticket holders and maybe don't want to travel to Paris might be a tad bit upset. But at the end of the day, it's good exposure for the NBA. It's obviously good exposure because we do have a worldwide fan base. And I do feel like playing overseas from time to time does give that fan base a chance to really show how much they love the Chicago Bulls and even the Detroit Pistons if you're a Pistons fan as well. So it is big news for both teams, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see if we can walk away with the win. A long time from now, we don't really need to discuss it any further than what it needs to be at this point, but congratulations for both teams. Now I want to talk about Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. There are two topics of discussion in relation to Zach LaVine that I want to bring to you guys today. The first thing is that TMZ actually got a hold of Zach LaVine and basically asked him about the Lavar Comments, in which Lavar has said numerous things about Zach LaVine leaving the Chicago Bulls. And in one of those comments, he actually mentioned that he would be going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, if you don't know all the comments that Lavar did say, he did speak about Lonzo Ball as well. I made two videos about LaVar already. I don't really want to make any more, but this is obviously Zach LaVine's reaction to LaVar Ball's comment. Basically, what Zach LaVine had to say in relation to LaVar Ball's comments is Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball are homies. Again, not really surprising what he said there. And something that he did say is that he's always been a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. This is not a surprise. We know Zach LaVine likes the Los Angeles Lakers. He has spoken numerous times over the past number of years about the Los Angeles Lakers. That doesn't necessarily make me believe even more that he's going to LA. At the end of the day, it's a very difficult, I guess, deal to do for Los Angeles Lakers to acquire Zach LaVine. It's not impossible. For anybody that's saying it's not going to happen, it's impossible. It's not impossible, but it's extremely difficult to do. And I do feel like there are so many teams, including ourselves, that have a much better chance of bringing Zach LaVine in than Los Angeles. But it's the media, ladies and gentlemen. The media wants to attract best players to the best teams. Makes sense that Zach LaVine's the best free agent in 2022, at least from what I'm aware of, that doesn't have a player option or isn't a restricted free agent. Zach LaVine's the best unrestricted free agent there is this year. The Los Angeles Lakers is one of the most popular teams in the NBA. Desperate for another superstar, had a really awful season this year, a bunch of injuries, a bunch of unfortunate circumstances, and a not very well-constructed team overall. No disrespect to the Lakers if you're watching this video, but that seems to be how the season went for you guys overall. So it makes sense to link them two together. And of course, Zach LaVine's not going to disrespect the Los Angeles Lakers in front of TMZ and in front of a very, very large audience where if there is a possibility for Zach LaVine that he wants to join LA, if he bashes LA now, he's not going to go to LA, is he? So he's opening, I guess he's leaving the door open. He's giving them an option if there really is a possibility. But at the end of the day, if someone asks him about Portland, I don't see him dissing Portland either. If someone asks him about the Spurs or Dallas or any team, I see him saying very similar things. Not maybe that he's a Lakers, that he's a fan of those teams, but maybe that he likes those teams or he respects those teams, stuff of that nature. So I don't see this as the biggest news of all time, but at the end of the day, for those people that I guess are upset about it, that's just something that, in my opinion, it's up to you, really. I'm personally not upset about Zach LaVine's comments. We know Zach LaVine likes the Los Angeles Lakers. He said it numerous times before, and I'm sure he'll say it numerous times afterwards, even if he is not on the Los Angeles Lakers next year and for years to come. If he stays on this team, I can almost guarantee you there will be a lot of times they'll be asking him about LA, and he'll be saying very similar things. Now let's talk about the Chicago Bulls front office, ladies and gentlemen, because they have, I wouldn't say they've come out and say, but it looks like there's been news around the front office. And according to Casey Johnson, I believe, the Chicago Bulls are very confident that they can re-sign Zach LaVine in free agency. So again, conflicting news here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, Zach LaVine speaking about the LA Lakers, again, doesn't really surprise me that he's a fan of the LA Lakers, and we already know this. And the Bulls very confident they can bring back Zach LaVine, as they should be, because at the end of the day, they know what it's going to take to bring Zach LaVine back. I don't think this is a very hard deal to comprehend or decipher. We know what it's going to take to bring Zach LaVine back to the Chicago Bulls. The question is, for many of you guys, do you want to pull the trigger on it? It's the max contract. We can offer him more years. We can offer him more money than anybody else in free agency. Signing trades can happen, and that will obviously give Zach LaVine the same amount of money and the same amount of years. But if no signing trade is available, we know what it's going to take to bring Zach LaVine back. The question is if the Chicago Bulls are willing to do it, if Arturas and the front office are willing to do it, and ultimately if the fans actually want this to happen. Those are really the big questions here. So I'm very excited that the Bulls front office are confident they can re-sign Zach LaVine. I have no reasons why they wouldn't be confident that they can re-sign Zach LaVine, but in saying that, it's not a foregone conclusion either way. It's not impossible to see Zach LaVine join a different team, potentially the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's definitely not impossible for him to be a Chicago Bull next season either. So that's the question I have for you guys as well. I guess, what do you actually want to happen? But that's really all the news, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. When news and stuff like this do come out in terms of the Chicago Bulls, I will continue to bring them to you guys. At the end of the day, there'll be multiple videos most likely at some days that you'll see. Some days you might see 2 videos. Some day you might be seeing 1, because we're close, actually over a month away from the NBA draft. And I feel like there are more than 20 prospects or 30 prospects that we could talk about in the NBA draft. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't be. But I will try to make sure I get at least 1 draft video out every day for the foreseeable future. And we'll just have to wait and see about the rest of the news. So keep your eyes out for multiple videos if they can be a possibility at a day's time. Have a wonderful and safe day, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.